So I have been talking for some time about this Joy Collective, and I'm imagining you may be wondering, well, what is it like for people in the Joy Collective? And what's it like to go through the Core Alignment with Joy series? So I am Kristen Collier with Collier Connections, and I'm really excited to have with me today somebody from the Joy Collective. I am a writer and a coach supporting people in accessing their ever-present wellspring of joy. And today joining me is Lavinia Nitu. And Lavinia, would you be willing to share like a little bit about yourself to start with, like where are you coming from, where are you calling from, and what do you do in your life and what are you passionate about? And then I want to ask you some about your experience with the Core Alignment with Joy.
So, hi everyone, I'm Lavinia. I was born in Romania, but I'm now based in Italy. I'm a photographer. I'm a documentary photographer. I'm actually a documentary family photographer, meaning that my job is to tell the stories of normal people, normal families, just like yours.
And she's an award-winning documentary photographer, for the record. Totally. Okay, thank you. And Lavinia, when you came to this work, what was it that you were looking for when you did the Core Alignment? It was actually the first official cohort of the Core Alignment with Joy series. What were you looking for in your life? What were you wanting more of?
Because of my character, because of my past, the way I grew up with, the heritage that I have, I always try to think the worst before something happened, a little bit as a scaramantic thing. So instead of anticipating joy or the happiness or the pleasure moments that will await me, what I would do, I was trying to prepare for what the worst things, like the worst case scenario.
And that wasn't working out so well for you anymore.
Not very much. This example, I travel a lot for my work. I travel a lot for my work, which means I have to take trains, airplanes, quite often. Even though I'm not scared of flying, even though I'm so used to traveling, before every trip, my brain will go, okay, there's something going to happen. The flight is going to have a delay. The train can derail. Have you made sure to book a seat in the middle of the train, not at the beginning of the end? My brain goes through all this because what if something happens? I also always, when I work, I will bring out more than a camera, just as a backup, or my lenses, another backup to a backup, just because what if something happened and you are not able to use that equipment and you will fail in your job. What you taught me, what I've learned through your course, is that me thinking negative about this, it leaves out the joy of anticipation of meeting new families, meeting, encountered, or making new experience, and taking fully joy of it. And I don't want to use the word joy as much because your course is joy, but that's actually what it brings you, because it brings joy to be with new families, or to me, it brings joy, it brings knowledge, it stimulates my curiosity, and that brings more joy and more stimulus to make better photos. Okay, so me, by putting my attention on all the bad things that would happen, I was killing that joy right to begin with.
Yeah, and it sounds like that is such an important piece that definitely connects with the course, because it wasn't even about anything that was happening outside of you. It was all in your mind.
Yes, totally out of in my mind. Like, I would spend nights and nights and nights thinking and overthinking and making not plans, but scenarios of what bad things could go, or like how things could go wrong, in order for me to be ready in case those things would happen.
Right. And so now when you're preparing, I'm hearing that you have a more joyful experience as you're looking forward to meeting this family. Is there a way that you, is there one of the practices from the Core Alignment with Joy series that you use to really connect with that experience that you could have of meeting this family and really enjoying them?
Yes, especially trying to envision how I would feel and all the new things that I would learn just by staying with them, just by being with them, and letting the wonder of new discoveries fill me with joy. And this is also related to the photography, because every time I discover something, I go, oh, wow, I want to photograph that. How can I photograph that? How can I put this into a poetic kind of into a, how do you call, a metaphor story? And that really tingles my creativity. So I'm trying to envision how much my senses will be stimulated by these new discoveries.
I love it. So it sounds like for you too, connecting with that joy really relates to your capacity to connect with your creativity.
Absolutely, totally. It completely changed my creative flow.
Wow. And so the ideas are just flowing in more easily, and you're like right there and available to grab them and plug them in because your mind isn't perseverating on fear and instead it's open to possibility. Is that it?
Exactly. My mind will recognize fear easily. Like, if in the beginning my mind was not able to pinpoint the fear, will just say, no, you are getting ready, you are not afraid, you are getting ready. Now it's saying, okay, you are just afraid of this part that might go wrong, but what's the worst that can happen? What's the best that can happen, actually? And acknowledge that, make peace with it, look it in the eyes, see how reasonable, how feasible, and how that will make you feel, and move forward. It's going to be probably next to you, but it doesn't have to influence you or your work. It's just something that is part of you. And I'm
Okay.
not letting myself being stopped by the fear, because sometimes I find out that, fear will stop me from doing something
Mm-hmm.
a little bit more
Mm-hmm.
bolder.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not the case.
So it sounds like you, I'm sorry, go ahead.
It's not like it's not the case. I still feel it, but I'm able to control it so much better.
Yeah. So it sounds like you are noticing the fear and saying, "Yes, I see you here. I welcome you." And that is definitely a piece of what we were working on in the core alignment too, is welcoming all those parts of us. That's part of the experience of joy, is like that. And when I say joy, I mean like satisfaction, that deep caring compassion to fully embrace all the different parts of us. And that means including the parts that show up scared and saying, yes, you're a part of me. And I'm going to place my attention, after acknowledging you, I'm going to place my attention on the part that is moving forward in the way that I wanted, and the part that is flowing and does have possibility for greater connection and self connection. And that's the place that I'm really going to live from, even as I'm holding that other part with care. Is that resonating?
That is perfectly it.
That's so helpful to hear, Lavinia. And I'm grateful for your sharing how it was then and how it is now. Is there anything that you would suggest for somebody who is considering the course? Is there anything that you would tell them to consider upon making that decision to do it or not?
I will have to say that there are so many courses that talk about finding joy and finding happiness. What I love about yours is that it's so infused with actual research and reference, like studies reference studies. And another thing that I will pinpoint, which, as you said at the beginning, you mentioned that I'm an award-winning photographer. You have such a huge experience, years and years and years working on this subject, around this subject, accumulating knowledge. So I think that those that want and like doubt themselves about joining this class, don't doubt. This is going to be a life changer, and for you, I can assure you, like I'm sure 100% of it. But the only thing you have to do, and it's very important because you can help them up to a point, they have to show up. They have to do the work. They have to listen to your recordings. They have to prepare home, and at their home, they have to prime and meditate a little bit and really dig deep into themselves. So they have to also do a little bit of help,
do the practices.
The practice.
People have to do the practices in order to actually have the change. It's not something that I can make happen.
No, like you can pinpoint and you can show them and you can teach everyone how to do it, but they have to do it.
Yeah,
they have to have that. Yeah. They have that responsibility, and it will change your life.
Yeah, totally. And you have continued on with the Joy Collective weekly. And absolutely, what is that community like in terms of supporting you?
It's like a group of new friends. A group of new friends that will welcome you no matter how hard your day was, no matter if your hair is in order or not, or if you feel like talking or not. It's a very supportive group that, from my experience, we've been doing this for months and months now, have given me so much. I've created almost friendship, even though we are overseas. Basically, we are so far away, and we kind of support each other with the practice, in the course and outside the course, with the accountability buddies program.
The accountability
I'm
buddies.
Grateful for.
Yeah. How do you feel at the end of each Joy Collective meeting?
Lighter. I feel lighter, even if I'm tired, because in Italy, when we do it, it's usually like 8 o'clock. It's time for dinner. I don't feel like I don't feel hungry anymore. I just like feel like talking and listening and absorbing even more, just because you really make me feel lighter.
Like the whole group, right? I mean, it's amazing. Yeah.
You help me every time, and it's not every time you help me put things into perspective, change perspective. You are helping me to look at things that worry me from another point of view, and that is so much help, because it makes me also, again, gets me out of my head, and help me not think about and not worry all the time.
Totally. Sweet. Thank you so much, Lavinia. And if you're watching this, I would love in the comments if you share thoughts you have, questions you have. Would love to have you join the Joy Collective. And you can either watch the Core Alignment with Joy series electronically. You can check it out on my website, or in January, we'll be running a live course. And then after that, the weekly Joy Collective continues at an hour a week, with people meeting from all over the world together. Thank you so much for watching. And thank you so much, Lavinia, for being willing to share your experience.
Thank you for having me. And thank you for being my teacher.
Yeah.